Hello, and thank you for your purchase. In this video, we will be covering the bookkeeping spreadsheet. There are several different tabs included with this product. The various tabs include the instructions and setup, income, expenses, monthly dashboard, flexible dashboard, quarterly dashboard, annual dashboard, 5-year overview, comparison dashboard, category dashboard, and balance tab. Please note, the file you receive will be blank. We have some data entered for the purpose of this tutorial. Here you can see step-by-step instructions included with this product, as well as the necessary setup steps. Here is where you will set your start year. The fiscal year is set to January 1st by default, but can be changed to any day and any month of the year. Below is a reference for the quarterly ranges based on your fiscal year start settings. Next to it is a section to fill in your profit goals for each month of the year. To the right is a section to fill in your income categories. Below is a section to fill in your accounts. And next to the income categories is a section to fill in your expense categories. This concludes our review of the Instructions and Setup tab. The Income tab is where you will input your business income transactions. Let's review each section of the transaction table. Here is a section to record a transaction ID if needed. Next to it is where you will record the date of the transaction. Here is where you will select your income categories and the account it has been deposited into. Here is where you can record the overall amount of the transaction. The section here under Tax Percentage is where you can apply a generic tax amount to all transactions for easy automated calculations. If you wish to override this amount, you can simply type here in the row and it will apply that percentage instead. Here is where you will see the tax amount of the transaction and finally the net income of that transaction. This concludes our review of the Income tab. The Expenses tab is exactly like the Income tab, however, it is meant to log all business expenses. Here is a section to record a transaction ID if needed. Next to it is where you will record the date of the transaction. Here is where you will select your expense categories and the account it has been deposited into. Here is where you can record the overall amount of the transaction. The section here under Tax Percentage is where you can apply a generic tax amount to all transactions for easy automated calculations. If you wish to override this amount, you can simply type here in the row and it will apply that percentage instead. Here is where you will see the tax amount of the transaction and finally the net expense of that transaction. This concludes our review of the Expenses tab. The Monthly Dashboard tab will show you an overview of the selected month here. Next to the year and month selection, you will see the total income, net income, total expenses, net expenses, profit, profit margin, and profit goal of the month. Here is a chart showing a financial overview of the month. Next to it is a chart showing income distribution, expense distribution, and a daily overview. Below the financial overview chart is the financial summary table. Below that is a breakdown of the profit progress for the selected month, and below is the profit margin chart. Next to this section is the income summary table showing a breakdown of each category's total, tax, and net income. Next to it is the expense summary chart, and finally the daily summary chart, showing a daily breakdown of the income, expenses, net income, profit, and profit margin for a specific day. Let's now check the flexible dashboard. As you can see, this is very similar to the monthly dashboard. However, you can select any date range you like. Here is where you can select your date range. If you are using Excel, you will not see the calendar pop up unless you are using the in-browser version. You will need to manually type in the date. Please note that the daily summary table only shows up to 60 days within the date range. If you need this expanded, please reach out to us. This concludes our review of the monthly dashboard tab. The quarterly dashboard shows a 3-month breakdown of the specific quarter selected. You can select your quarter here. Please be mindful of your fiscal year when selecting these quarters. The dashboard is similar to both the monthly and flexible dashboards. However, here you will see a breakdown of each month within the quarter in place of the daily summary section. Please note that your month will start on the day you selected in the Setup tab. Here you can see our month starts on the 1st. The monthly summary section shows a financial breakdown of each month in the selected quarter. Below is the profit summary for those particular months and shows the overall progress towards the assigned profit goals from the Setup tab. This concludes our review of the quarterly dashboard tab. The annual dashboard shows a complete overview of the selected fiscal year. Here you will see an annual overview of your total income, expenses, net income, and profit. Next to it is a quarterly overview of the fiscal year and a monthly overview. Below is the total annual profit progress along with a breakdown of each month's profit progress. Here is an annual growth chart showing the accumulation of your total income, expenses, and profit over the year. Below is an income and expenses distribution chart where you can select total, tax, or net for each. This selection will also change the tables below. Below is the financial summary table for the year. Next are the 2 tables that will be changed based on the drop-downs from the distribution charts. Below these tables are the profit summary, tax summary, growth summary, and quarterly summary tables. Finally, you will find tables for each income and expenses showing their total, tax, and net amounts for each category. This concludes our review of the annual dashboard tab. The 5-year overview tab is similar to the month, flexible, and quarterly dashboards, where it shows the financial information of 5 years based on the selected starting year. It will show the total amounts for each category, the total income, expenses, and profit gained over the selected 5 years, and an overview of each of the 5 years. Here you will find a yearly summary of each year and their profit details here. This concludes our review of the 5-year overview tab. The comparison dashboard allows you to select and compare 3 date ranges of your choosing. Here is where you can select the date ranges. It will automatically calculate the number of days and weeks in that date range. Below is a chart showing the financial overview of each date range and their financial summary below. Next to this is the profit progress for each date range and a profit summary below. Below these sections is the income and expenses distribution for each date range, where you will find a breakdown of their categories. The drop-down menus here will let you select total, tax, or net, and the table and charts will update accordingly. This concludes our review of the Comparison Dashboard tab. The Category Dashboard tab will show a breakdown of a specific category. Here you can select any income category and see a month, annual, quarterly, 5-year, or custom overview of that particular category. You can select any month or year you'd like. Below the income section is the exact same layout, but for an expense category instead. Finally, there is the comparison section to review any income and expense category against each other. For this, you can also select total, tax, or net for that particular category. See a comparison of any month, year, quarter, 5-year span, or custom range you'd like. This concludes our review of the Category Dashboard tab. The Balance tab is a section to track all your accounts for your business. Here you will enter in your initial balance. This balance must be your current account balance to be accurate. You must log every transaction in and out of your business for the balance to be up to date. The chart automatically calculates your income and expenses and outputs a balance for you. This concludes our review of the Balance Dashboard tab. In this section, we will review a few examples. First, begin by entering your start year and your business's fiscal year start. Fill in your income and expenses categories here, your accounts here, and your planned profit goals for each month here. Next, go to the Balance tab and fill in your account balances here. Now that you have filled in all the required information, you can start logging your income and expenses here. Let's enter an income transaction as an example. Assign an ID if you'd like. This is optional and can be used for business purposes to help track specific transactions. Select the date of the transaction here. Note, if you are using Excel, you will need to manually enter in the date. Select the category, account, and the amount. Notice the tax is automatically applied based on our tax percentage here. You can override this amount if needed. Let's enter 2% as an example to see how it changes. If you want no tax applied, simply enter 0. And if you'd like, you can manually enter in your tax amount here. Please keep in mind, you will override the formula and the percentage column will no longer be able to be used. To reverse this, you can click Undo here, or click on the above cell here and click and hold here. Drag down and let go. This will apply the formula back to the cell. Here we will show an example of this process. We will type over the formula and enter 1. Notice how the net calculation updated. If we go to enter in a tax percentage, nothing happens. To bring back the formula, we click and hold here, drag down, and now the formula is back and is recognizing the tax percentage again. Keep entering in your business transactions for income and expenses in the appropriate tabs, and review your business finances with the dashboards provided. This concludes our tutorial of the bookkeeping spreadsheet. If you have any questions, please contact us. Happy tracking!